Solitude and virtue. So in my last video, I tried to explain how body diet relates to your practice and how inner development influences to which degree you can actually realize the benefits of certain practices. So when we think of yoga, and I'm also always taking yoga as an example because it's probably the most holistic of all traditions besides Taoism. So when we think of solitude, we think very often about something negative. We think about being lonely, being not included. I have created a little video to explain what solitude actually is. So if you go to Acres of Wisdom and look for my talk, and then look for Solitude, the video Solitude, so it's just a 4-minute video. I'm explaining a little bit why solitude, after all, is not such a bad thing. Now, I want to introduce you to this little book here. Just been published by Martin Fawkes. Big thank you to you. Like, this is an amazing publication. It's called Long Livers with the Rare Secret of Rejuvenescence. My apologies, English is my second language, as you probably have realized. So in this book, from Eugenius Philolatis, from 1722, it is stated that solitude and virtue are essential keys to practice of inner alchemy and the practice of longevity. Okay, so why would that be? Now think of it that way. It's not only important that you practice. Let's say Franz Baden, some of you might know Franz Baden, others if you just think of yoga. But the attitude with which you practice is equally important. So solitude means that you withdraw from the world, withdraw your senses. If you think of the Eightfold Yoga Path, Pratyahara, withdrawal of the senses, that's what it means. Have time for your practice. You will not proceed with your practice if you just rush into exercises. So if you're very busy in your business or your work, that would mean, basically speaking, you rush into your exercise, you go home, you do some Baden exercises, you quickly do your yoga. I've seen this in many yoga studios, and then you rush home again. So you drive through busy traffic into a yoga studio, which charges you $45, $50, or even $60 these days for a yoga class, just to rush back in equally busy traffic, and then you might have an argument with your partner. So solitude means that you take time for life. Get offline, take time off. So I regularly do 10-day meditation retreats. Be away from your phone, be away from your tablet, be away from anything which causes you stress, which leads your consciousness to focus on the outside. Okay? So turning inwards, solitude is one important key. Now, why is virtue such an important key? Like in the Ashtanga Yoga, in the Eightfold Yoga Path, it's stated that you have to look after yourself first, so diet, physical exercise, solitude, and after others. And why is that? Because we create conflicts and tensions if we treat other people in the wrong way. This is also stated in Franz Baden in the first pages. How you treat others will determine how successful you are with your practice. In my personal opinion, and I stated that in some of my previous talks, the exercise is not all that important. Like as I said, I have been a Baden fan from the start. I have used Franz Baden, yoga, Taoist exercises from the start. And for a long time, I've been thinking that exercise is the key to everything. So like how to levitate, or how to achieve telepathy, or similar exercises, achievements actually, not exercises. I was thinking that my practice would lead me to actually achieve this faster. So for example, with Franz-Baden, the more I can visualize, the more I'm able to activate the elements, and the faster I'm able to actually turn my life around, achieve certain spiritual levels. That is not so. Basically speaking, your attitude is everything. So for example, when you do Franz Baden, the book 3, and you try to use the Kabbalist letters, you will see that the attitude in which you practice is everything. You see this very clearly in Koenig, that actually the letting go process, that withdrawal process has to come first. In the last years, I have done a lot of Brahma Vihara meditations, also absorption meditations. I've achieved all sorts of jhanic experiences, the signless state and final cessation. And interestingly enough, when I then got back to Franz Baden, my yoga exercises, in particular Dao Yin, Taoist exercises, Ne Dan, Ne Gong, all of a sudden they worked 10 times better. And even when I played chess, when I did business, I realized that all of a sudden I was way more successful than before. So let me end this short talk because I'm actually waiting for my tea to get cold. So I'm using these little breaks to do videos. I'm actually, by the way, doing this because I try to learn video editing. So if you ask yourself, why is Urban doing talks, why I'm doing all these AI videos and I don't know, Echo of Wisdom, my other channel is Urban Pitch Publishing, why I do this. I'm actually wanting to learn to use AI and learning to do video editing. So at this point in time, I intend to continue this, probably at least for 1 or 2 years, and seeing how I go with it. So just to make you understand why I'm actually doing these things. I hope this was not too boring. I again want to hope you can see it. Highly recommend Martin Falk's new release, Long Livers. That is an amazing book. It has been written in 1722, and it will help you to understand the language the old alchemists have been using. So in my next talks, some of my next talks, hopefully, if I find the time, I aim to go into inner alchemy. What is inner alchemy? And you will realize, it's also stated in this book, that solitude and virtue are 2 extremely important things. So in order to live longer, you have to be less stressed. You have to eat healthy, sleep enough. But in particular, have the right attitude. Every cell of your body is listening. The spirits are listening. So when you do astral work, all the spirits around you, they can feel, in particular if you do astral work, but also any emotional blockage, they sense that. So it is important in the beginning of your spiritual practice, while you do, let's say you do Franz Baden, you do your your visualization exercises, if you do yoga, Raja yoga, or if you do Buddhist practices, make sure that you don't forget to put everything into the right frame. So set up your practice the correct way, set your whole life up in the correct way. Do loving kindness and forgiveness meditations. Is there any grievance towards other people, any hatred? And this is why I said in my previous, eventually a little bit confusing talks, because I'm learning how to use all this technical gear, which doesn't make it easy to focus actually in my talk, to be honest. It is very important to set you up in the right way. So basically speaking, set a routine, create a routine, go within, do insight meditation, so loving kindness meditation, forgiveness meditation, insight meditation, dry insight meditation is the key word, to actually see what's going on. In the first level of Franz Baden, there is this kind of follow your thoughts for 5 minutes. Now it's a very, very basic but very yet highly effective exercise. I would eventually even recommend to go a little bit into a dry insight meditation. Just see what's happening in your head. You will realize how tensed you are, how tensed your body is, how tensed your mind is, and tranquilizing your bodily and mind formations, as it's stated in the Buddhist sutras, is the first step to the Satipatthana Sutta, but also the Anapanasati Sutra. So working with your breath, breathing in, tranquilizing your body formations, breathing out, tranquilizing your body formations. That does wonders to your Bhavana practice. That does wonders to your Raja Yoga practice. It's all interconnected. So that's all I have time for. I'm looking forward to have my tea. Hope it's not too cold yet. See you soon in my next talks. I'm trying to put a few effects in, trying to start creating talks which are a little bit better organized. So bear with me, please. I'm a beginner. Hear from you soon.